Almost 2 years ago, U2's released the very first teenage robot figurine, but with a twist. It was a collaboration between My Life as a Teenage Robot and Hatsune Miku, and it was wildly popular. I was fortunate enough to get in contact with U2's, and they sent me a prototype to review. To this day, that's one of the greatest honors I've had in this community. The U2's team also gave me the opportunity to recommend other ideas that the community might enjoy. I mentioned that there was never an official Jenny plush, and eventually they made that happen too. Then I mentioned we haven't had a standalone Jenny figurine. I also told them that a Hot Rod variant could be popular. And today, I'm proud to say that I have the official Jenny and Hot Rod Jenny figurines. I'd like to thank U2's for being kind enough to send these figures, and for asking for suggestions for other merch. Full disclosure, I'm not being paid to review any of this merch, but they've sent me both of these figurines for free. You could call this a sponsored video, but I'm free to point out flaws I might notice. My relationship with U2's didn't stop me from pointing out problems with their Jenny plush, and it won't stop me today, so let's get started. Right off the bat, I'm very impressed with the details on these boxes. The Jenny Miku box was well designed, but it didn't call back to the show in any way. These boxes have direct quotes sprinkled in, adding in a little bit of charm. All three of these quotes call back to "It Came From Next Door," which makes sense. It's the first and most iconic episode. Both boxes use the same lines, which might have been a bit of a missed opportunity. Hot Rod Jenny only appears in The Great Unwashed, and it would have been a nice touch if that box used quotes from that episode. Speaking of nice touches, look at the inside of the box. It uses one of the gorgeous backgrounds from the series. The Hot Rod Jenny box has a beautiful evening setting to match her color, and the regular Jenny figure has a nice afternoon. This is a very clever use of the color palette of each figure, and it calls back to something the show is renowned for: its use of color. The outside uses Jenny's room as a setting, which is another cool touch. The actual figures are very well done. Like with Jenny, Miku, and the plush, the U2's eye branding isn't completely obvious. They make use of the bolt shape of her eyes to disguise it. I'm not the biggest fan of the simplified eyes in certain other U2's products, and especially in Funko Pops, so I like this creative decision. They're striking Jenny's famous pose from Return of the Raggedy Android. This was definitely the best pose they could have adapted. Not only because it's iconic, but also because they stand up unassisted. Even on my couch. I love how they decided to make her hair 3D and not just print it on her head. Even though the figures are exactly the same, besides their color scheme, I couldn't help but admire how great they look when they stand next to each other. There were some obvious problems with the Jenny plush, but honestly, I think these figures are as perfect as vinyl figures can get. I'm very impressed. Lately, I've heard a lot more buzz about U2's. My sister isn't normally into this kind of collectible, but she's really excited about their new Adventure Time line. I think they've got Funko beat when it comes to detail. That detail comes with a price. Each U2's vinyl is $29.99 USD. The Hot Rod Jenny figure is an exception. Or should I say was an exception. You can only get the Hot Rod Jenny figure in a bundle with the original Jenny figure. In most cases, that's probably fine. I don't think there were many people looking to buy just the Hot Rod figure. That's more of a superfan collectible. Unfortunately, unlike Jenny Miku and the plush, I wasn't able to get my hands on these figures early. I got the Jenny figure around the same time as everyone else, and I decided to hold off on making this video until the Hot Rod Jenny figure arrived. There was some sort of shipping delay that made the Hot Rod Jenny figure ship significantly later than the original. By the time the package arrived, Hot Rod Jenny was no longer available on the U2 site. So unfortunately, if you like what you see right now, you can only get the regular Jenny figure. The Jenny plush is also out of production, but that's a different story I'll get into a little later. While it sucks you can only get the standard figure, I think it's the best Teenage Robot merch out there. It's very well made, and I think any Teenage Robot fan could appreciate it. Like with the other U2's Teenage Robot merch, this figure is only available to purchase in select countries due to licensing restrictions imposed by Paramount. You can buy your own Jenny figure using the top link in the description below. So, what's next? U2's covered all my suggestions, so is that it? Nope! They're getting ready to release a whole new wave of Teenage Robot merch. Thankfully for us, it's looking like this line is pretty successful for them. They've got 3 bobble pins, 1 hanging pin of Jenny Miku, and 2 new plushies on the way. They launched the pre-orders back in January, but all of these are still available to buy. These pins aren't cutouts of the poses from the show like we previously saw from Zen Monkey Studios. Instead, we're getting brand new poses, and like I said, they bobble. Bobble! The new plushies fix the errors and complaints that came up with their older design. To be clear, I still love my Jenny plush. She'll still be on display with her two sisters when they arrive. I got confirmation from my contact at YouTube's that they'll be sending this entire new wave of merch our way, so you can expect another video like this in the near future. Again, I really want to thank YouTube's for making quality My Life as a Teenage Robot merch, and for repeatedly supporting us through the years. What do you think of these figures? Did you pick one up yourself? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure you smite that like button. I've been your narrator, DC. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, leave a rating. If you want to reach us, leave a comment. Or check out our other platforms. Links are in the description.
That'll do, Peter Jenny. That'll do.